Okay, class, so for today's lesson, we're gonna look at some rational number relationships, but more importantly, knowing how to classify numbers. So, we're gonna start with a whole number. All whole numbers simply are numbers that are whole, basically. So you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. As you can see, it's not a fraction. There's no decimals here. A whole number is just that specific number in whole form. Next, we have an integer. Now, all integers are whole numbers as well as their negative counterparts. So I would say 0, 1, 2, 3. These are all integers. They're whole numbers as well, but they're all integers. Now, what's different between a whole number and an integer is that we start to add our negatives. So -1, -2, -3. So as you can see, whole numbers are only on the positive side, but integers could be either the positive side or the negative side. These are integers. Next is a rational number. Now, a rational number is a number that can be expressed in the form a over b. So it could be either a fraction or a decimal. So let's say we have 14 over 3. 3 cannot go evenly into 14. So we already know that this is neither an integer or a whole number because we're going to have a decimal here. Now, 1/2 is also going to be a rational number. 0.25. This is a decimal. This is also going to be a rational number. Now, the way we classify these, we could do a Venn diagram. So let's start with whole numbers. Whole numbers will be right here. So that includes numbers such as 0, 1, 2, and 5. Now, within this set of numbers, we have integers. So as you can see, integers can be 0, they can be 1, and they can be 5. So whole numbers are actually inside of integers. They're in that set. The only difference here is that if I want to add a -1, a -5, or a -2, they must go outside of the whole number circle because they are not whole numbers. But they are integers, so they could definitely go outside here. Another thing to take note of, say we have -15 over 5. 15 can go evenly into 5. So even though this is written as a fraction, it is still considered a whole number because the value of -15 over 5 is going to be equal to -5. So just always be aware of that. If a fraction could go evenly to create a whole number or a negative number in this case, then it wouldn't just be a rational number. Take a second to pause and repeat if you would like to hear that information again. Now, we have whole numbers and we have integers. Whole numbers are integers as well. So, we're going to go ahead and do our final classification, which is rational numbers. Okay, so rational numbers include integers and they include whole numbers as well. They're all a part of that rational number set. Now, what differentiates that is a fraction such as -1/2, +1/2, or some decimals. 0.875 is a rational number only. It is not an integer or a whole number. That's why it's on the outside. We could also say -0.75 as a rational number as well. Now, think about this on your own. What do you think you would classify these three numbers as? We have 20 over 4, we have -16, and we have 0.875. Where would you put these three numbers in this diagram?